Hey, welcome to day 4 of the Hydration Elevation Challenge. I hope you're feeling more hydrated. I hope you are noticing a difference from the inside out and even starting to possibly notice a little bit of a radiant glow going on with your skin because you are taking care of yourself in this way. It's a fundamental way, but often the first thing that we let go of when things get busy. And we know things get busy often. So today, I wanted to share with you what counts. So I get this question often when I do these hydration challenges and also just when working with clients because I'm always checking in about water intake. It is step one and it is an ongoing thing because things shift and we get out of habits, and this ties in with everything else. So you can count. Obviously, so far we've just been talking about water itself, but you can also count whenever you have some kind of herbal tea, non-caffeinated drinks count as part of your water intake. This could be whatever you add. If you have smoothies in the morning, whatever you add as the liquid to that, that could count as part of your water intake. If you have a soup and it's very brothy, and maybe you make it yourself, and so the water content of that, let's say you have a very liquidy soup and you get to count, 8 ounces of it. So soup, smoothie, herbal tea. You could even count juice. Juice is not something that I recommend that people get, uh, you know, cup after cup of. But if that's a part of your day and you want to count that as part of your water intake, especially as you get started and you want to feel like you're really making progress, like count all of these things. They actually do count towards your water intake, and you'll feel like you are having that accomplishment. The only things that don't count are caffeinated beverages. So feel free to have your coffee, but just know that however many ounces of coffee that you drink, that doesn't count towards your water intake, but it doesn't mean you can't have it. And then if you have alcohol, then you'll want to offset that with extra water. So let's say you have a glass of wine, then you have a glass of water to help offset that. So those are the main things to keep in mind as you are tracking. And hopefully you may notice after we discuss this that you're actually getting more water than you thought you were, which is great. And then a couple of other little things to keep in mind. So now you know which things count towards your water intake. And sometimes I get the question too, do I need to add extra water for these particular things? I like to start people off and say, just just try to get your minimum number of ounces in per day, which was what we talked about the very first day. Take your weight, divide it in half. That's the number of ounces that you need as a minimum for your water requirement per day. Now, when will you start to add extra water? Well, if you are doing, let's say, a pretty intense workout, then you're going to want to add an extra 8 ounces of water for every 30 minutes of exercise. The other thing is temperature. If you are in a hot, humid climate, you will want to add at least an extra 8 ounces of water to help you offset all of that um, sweating that your body has been doing and temperature control that your body is trying to keep up with in those conditions. So I hope that this was informational for you with your water intake. If any of this gets too, sometimes it just might feel a little overwhelming, then go back to the basics. Just remind yourself, you know what? I'm just going to get that minimum number of ounces today and call it good. That's great. That's probably progress compared to what you were doing. You don't have to make it any more complicated than you want to. If you want to get in the weeds with this, let me know. We'll talk hydration and all of the nerdy stuff for as long as you want. But for now, just keep it simple and get your daily minimum requirement, and then really let yourself tune into how you feel. What do you notice when you're hydrated? What do you notice when you're not? How is your thinking? How is your even communication? Your processing skills, your emotional regulation, all of these things are affected by our hydration. So leave your comments and let me know how it's going, what you've noticed. Remember, we've got a drawing going for anybody that engages with this through the comments or reaching out in the DMs. And I will be sharing the winners of those special prizes coming up this weekend.